What's going on, fellow hams? Hey,
Hey,
today
so
we
here's
have
the
something
deal.
that's really going to
I
boost
really
your
appreciate
performance, and we're
how
talking
much
about the
great
Grener Power 12-volt 6-amp LiFePO4 battery, which, spoiler alert, we're going to have a quick episode, and spoiler alert again, this does more than 6 amp hours. So before we dive into the volts and the amps, if you're enjoying this content, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe check out this total affiliate link below, where currently, as I'm recording this, it's only $19.99. Is it worth it? Let's deep dive and find out. When I initially got this, the first thing I needed to do was to charge this up. I used a Bio-NO battery charger for this that I cut and put power pole adapters on. Now, utilizing my CBA5 from West Mountain Radio, this tested in at a whopping 8.4 amp hours and somewhere around 125 watt hours. I wasn't necessarily sure that that was accurate, so I purchased another one. The first one was sent to me by the company, and who knows what they did, right? Second one tested at 8.4 amp hours. And the fact is, a lot of these companies that have a 6 amp hour battery, they might advertise it as 6 amp hours, but it does more, and they do that to make sure they're always within compliance of their products. The Grener Power battery, it's 6 inches wide by 2.5 inches in depth and 3.75 inches tall. It weighs approximately 2 pounds, although the manufacturer says 1.98. And it is a great fit for any ham radio setup, especially when you're on the move. Look at that, I could fit it in my pocket. And I don't know what anybody ever told you, but it's not all about size. It's not all about size. The weatherproofing on this battery, it's top notch, it's amazing. In fact, there's weatherproofing and water resistance, and I'll talk about how durable it is here in just a moment. But it also has a built-in BMS, or battery management system, and short circuit protection, so that if you cross these two, it'll stop sparking, or it will protect the BMS in the batteries. The batteries, the cells, yeah, they're all from the same lot number, which appear to be new. And this ensures consistent performance with the battery. A lot of times you might even see some batteries when you open them up that are dirty or look like they were used or have different lot numbers on the batteries themselves. And you know what that means? It means they're garbage. Mike taught me that one too.
All right, man.
The spade connectors that are on this battery, they're silver toned. In fact, they look to be of higher quality than some that I've seen in the past that have kind of rusted out over time. I crafted a cable that takes this spade connector and it runs it into a power pole connector, and then I cut my Bio-NO charger and I put a power pole connector on that. Now, Grener Power advertises a life of 10 years on here, 4,000 cycles and a full suite of protections to include overcharge, over discharge, and extreme temperature safeguards. And while I haven't had 4,000 hours to test this fully, the specifications are impressive. And we know that winter is coming. So we will be able to put more of these temperature protections to the test here. I'm not putting it in my freezer. Now, as we shift the gears to a challenge that I did face with this battery, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and that was that this battery is built like Fort Knox. What do I mean by that? I tried to use a spork. I tried to use a pry bar. I tried to kick it. I could not get the battery to open, or this case apart. And you know what was interesting with that? Finally, I just used a heat gun and I applied light heat across the top portion, and I was able to remove this. But internally, I was able to see that this was glued solid all around. And again, that helps protect the internal components from dust and water ingression. And it appears that there is no recycled parts internally, so that's a really good thing. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not a genius when it comes to batteries. I built one once, and I didn't set my house on fire. But I can tell you that this battery seems to perform very well. And then I guess whether you're running QRP out in the field, or if you need to temporarily power a station for an emergency, the Grener Power battery could be very reliable for you. And for that price of $19.99, you could buy a couple of them. But remember that investing in gear like this isn't just about getting a job done. It's about pushing the boundaries of what is becoming more possible and keeping things as inexpensive as possible within amateur radio.
While protecting your investment, make sure you protect your investment.
Listen, I highly recommend you go read reviews and do your own research, but I enjoyed this battery. I haven't had any issues with it. I'm gonna go do some parks on the air now, so yeah, we'll see you soon. Oh, and you might be wondering, well, what did I do with that last battery? Because I destroyed the external case. And I found that it fits in a Harbor Freight 1800 Apache case. Now in the future, I'm gonna go ahead and make a 3D printed design on here so I could place the battery in here. On the side, we have these cool power pole connectors. We'll put a USB connector and a meter that shows our voltage as well as our temperature. So this is a fun project we'll continue to do on the live streams. And the reason I tell you that is I'm trying to tell you that no battery is going to waste because of this episode and my teardown. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the channel. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a quick one. That's all I got.